Alrighty, brothers and sisters, can you actually turn $1,000 into 1 million or more this cycle trading meme coins or investing in meme coins? In 2024 going to 2025, is it even realistic to think that it is even possible? So we're gonna go through that in today's video. We're gonna go through the most realistic way to turn $1,000 into $1 million with meme coins. So with no further ado, let's get into today's video. And as usual, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And remember, nothing is financial advice. This show is for entertainment and education and hopefully finding God. Now guys, here a lot of people get into meme coins. You know the real reason why everyone gets into the meme coin space and why everyone loves meme coin, and is for the simple reason that people want to make life-changing money. People want to make it to the headlines. Someone turned $1,000 into $1 million with meme coins, and meme coins have built a reputation now throughout the cycles, especially back in 2021 with Dogecoin, SHIBA Inu, SafeMoon, and other coins. Now people are rushing into meme coins like never before, and 2024, 2025 are gonna be that big meme coin cycle as we've seen already with 2023. And meme coins have proven by far to be the strongest sector on the crypto space. So now if we go to the top meme coins by market cap, which basically also means they have a high market cap and also they are the most popular. So what most people do, most people usually go and buy the most popular meme coins thinking that these meme coins are going to be the ones to make those huge numbers. Now just to give you an example, if you want to turn $1,000 into $1 million, you need a coin that's going to do 1000x return to turn 1000 to 1 million. So most people, when they come here, if you are not holding any of the top meme coins or if you're not already into them from the lows, most people, and when they expect to make $1 million from $1,000 from the top meme coins, they are shooting for 1000x, which is very unrealistic. This is where we get into that controversy where you see people saying that this is not even realistic, right? So what's the realistic way? Now, if we look at these top meme coins, as they are the most popular, as most people want those top meme coins, we're gonna start with them as an example. So if you want to make $1 million from Pepe today, which now Pepe is at $5-6 billion in its market cap. So if you wanted to go to do 1000x from today, you need literally Pepe to go to $6 trillion in its market cap, which is impossible. The whole crypto space is worth 2 trillion, 2.5 trillion, somewhere around that, which is like, as you can see, 6 trillion is impossible for Pepe to reach. Now, if you want 100x from Pepe, Pepe needs to go to $600 billion in its market cap, which means Pepe needs to flip ETH or Ethereum. Ethereum now is at $450 billion in its market cap. Bitcoin is at 1.4 trillion. So for Pepe to actually do 100x, it needs to go to 600 billion and flip ETH. So we all know that won't be even possible, right? To think about. It's, if we are lucky this cycle, we're gonna get maybe 5 trillion, maybe 10 trillion dollars as a whole in the crypto space, right? The whole coins combined, they might get that 10 trillion, right? Or 5 trillion, right? So this means that 100x is not even realistic for Pepe. Now, what can Pepe do? Now, Pepe is at 6 billion. If it goes to 60 billion, it's gonna be a 10x. If Pepe gonna do a 10x, how much do you need to invest on Pepe today to make $1 million? You need to invest around 100k. But if it does a 20x, which means Pepe needs to go from today's prices to $120 billion in its market cap, which could be possible because Pepe is the unicorn of this cycle. We could see it do 100 billion, which is gonna be the shocker, right? But we don't want to bet on that as the main strategy we want to go forward with in this cycle, right? We want to stay realistic so we can have the best odds on our favor. So now a 20x would put Pepe at around 120 billion. 100 billion is still possible. So let's say 20x, if it goes a bit lower, around 5 billion, then you need 50k. And this goes for all the top meme coins, basically, because if Pepe is the unicorn of this cycle, I do think Dog with Hat gonna be that real shocker too on Solana, just because it went too viral right now and it's just really held strong and it rallied, and the dog has a hat. It could be like the Dogecoin of this cycle, and Pepe would be like a unicorn, that like shocker. But the dog's narrative, I would say that Dog with Hat is gonna be that top coin on the dog narrative. if you want to make 1 million from 1,000 on dog with head, you need dog with head to go to 3 trillion, right? Which is out of the question. And if you need 100x, you need dog with a head to go to 300 billion, which is also out of the question. So the best dog with head can do is as well a 10 to 20x, right? Which means dog with head needs to go to 30 billion or 60 billion dollars in its market cap. Now also it's on Solana. Solana gonna have a lot of meme coins and it's all that dilution, but at some point dog with head is gonna start sucking all that liquidity because people are gonna get burned trading and gambling on Solana and all that stuff, which I'm gonna get to in today's video, which we're trying to find the best strategy to turn 1,000 into 1 million. So dog with head, Floki, BONK, Book of Meme, even now we have dog runes that I've covered on the previous videos, and we have dogs, cat in dogs world, which is not really a top meme coin, but we do have now Brett on Base as a top meme coin at a shocking $1.7 billion in its market cap, strengthening its spot as the top meme coin on Base chain. Now for you to make 1,000x on Brett on Base, a Brett on Base needs to go to 1.7 trillion. Out of the question. 100x needs, Brett on Base needs to go to 170 billion with the B. So that's also out of the question. To get a 10x from Brett on Base needs to go to 17 billion. To get a 20x, Brett on Base needs to go to 34 billion, which is still a possibility, right? We could still see Brett also doing a 10 to 20x, which brings us back again to the same problem. You need a lot of capital to get $1 million of these top meme coins. You need 100k and at least 50k, and that also means you are betting on one of those top meme coins, right? Like you need to find actually the one that's gonna do it, right? So if it comes down to me, I would say Pepe has the highest chance. So that brings us down now to capital is the main problem. So to actually get to $1 million, you need to first get to 100. To get to 100k, you need to first get to 10k. So what we're thinking about is to turn 1k to 10k, and then 10k to 100k, and then 100k to 1 million. Now some people would say I can buy Pepe and turn 1k to 10k, but by that time Pepe makes the 10x or the 20x, the market cycle would be over, right? And that's why also people like to go to that pump bot fund and try to gamble their money away because they don't have the capital. And one of the main signs that we don't have capital in the space, and why I call personally this cycle the broke cycle, is because we have the full DGen mania happening and other coins are not pumping, right? So people now are trying to do that through pump dot fund, through finding the lowest, shittiest coins possible to turn $100 to 1,000, 1,000 to 10k and stuff like that, just trying to gamble their way through that 1 million, which is not gonna happen, which is one of the hardest things to do. And that's one of the first things I want to share with you here today, guys, is to remember that slow always beats fast in this market. Trying to come up with a slow strategy that's gonna be sustainable through this cycle will always beat trying to find each day a new meme coin to get into, to kind of try to catch a gamble, try to catch a pump. Now that's how most people don't make it. Now the real way to go about it is to go lower. So what we need to know is the lower the market cap, the higher the returns, right? Or the chances to pull a return, and also the faster we can do that. So if today we see Brett on Base pumping, naturally you would think, all right, so if Brett on Base is pumping, there is the second best on Base is Toshi. Toshi is at $200 million in its market cap. Toshi could be the fast runner just because of speculation, right? So people now see Brett on Base pumping. The second thing they're gonna do is FOMO is gonna kick into the brain, and they are gonna go to find the next one because they missed, right? Because people will understand I'm not here for a 10x for the whole cycle, right? They don't want to waste that time, which actually this thing happens every 4 years. So you miss this one, you wait another 4 years to actually do it again. So people will start to speculate on the next one, and they're gonna find out about Toshi, and Toshi is at $200 million in its market cap, right? So if Brett pumps and goes to 20 billion, people are gonna start to think that Toshi is gonna do the same, which is very likely, right? And this is basically what the market does. It's called speculation for a reason, because people start to speculate. We're all in this whole crypto space is just speculative assets, people trying to give a price tag for each coin, and that's how they pump basically. So 200 million to 2 billion for Toshi is gonna be a 2x, at 20 billion is gonna be 100x, right? So we could be looking at a much higher returns just by that fact alone, that Toshi is a lower market cap and could follow and could go to 2 billion faster because it's a lower market cap. The spike up is gonna be fast, the same way we've seen with Brett. Brett went like in 2-3 days, went from 300 million to 1 billion and above, and it was pretty fast. So if we try to put Toshi here and we can shoot for a 50x on Toshi, you will need now 20k to get to 1 million. Or in other words, if you only put 1,000, it's gonna give you 50k, which in turn can be rotated back towards a top meme coin that could do that last 20x, or another coin that could do that last 20x that has good fundamentals, that is following the plans that we see here today, and turn that again into $1 million. And the lower we go, the higher the returns, but also the higher the risk. So the reason why I picked on Toshi is just because it's the best, the second best on Bait, and it's just more kind of, now it's an obvious play, right? Or we got Myro, which is at the same situation right now. Myro is the second, or the second following dog we've had, or Book of Meme, or BONK, right? Like especially BONK, I would say. Now Myro is in the same situation. Myro is at 200 million or 240 million and could do also a 40x or 50x and get you back in the game with these top meme coins. Now obviously if you're holding these top meme coins from the lows, you are pretty much set, but for the new people it's a different story. So, and the list goes on, right? Like you got Myro, you got Ponke right now. These are all low caps, mid caps, let's say, coins that could do those 50x's, those 40x's and stuff like that. We got Kokinu, we got Ladies, we got even now Apu, which is doing pretty well, and we got even Maniki, right, at $100 million in its market cap. We got Snack, we got Maga that could be playing that Politify narrative on it. We got Arbdoge, we got Grok, which could be even the biggest of all, right? Like Grok is at 87, and this one could be like the literal 100x just because it's related to Elon, and as soon as we're gonna get the hype, you can bet Elon is gonna start tweeting and talking about meme coins, and the whole thing could go really crazy very fast, right? That's why I'm super bullish on Grok. Those all got that potential of 50x's and more, which kind of puts us right close to where we want to be, right? And now we have the other way, right? Like the other way is try to find the lowest market cap coins possible that are related to the top meme coins, right? Like those that are related to Pepe. Especially right now, we've seen now Andy on it, we've seen now other ones, and even Brett on it, which is one of the lowest market caps. Those are like the closest possible to that Pepe run, and that could actually give those big returns, but they come with fear, they come with that kind of, people don't like those coins because people want the top coins, people want the hype, people want the green candles, people want all that stuff. So I'm gonna give you some examples when it comes to those low cap coins, which actually are the ones, if you only got 1,000 and that's all, and you see yourself, we're heading towards this part of the cycle where you got only a few months left and then the show is over, then you need to know this right now. This is very important. Now let me talk you through how I got into Floki back in the days. Now back in 2022 summer, I got into Floki, and the Floki chart looked just like that, right? Looked just like that. This was the bottom, the accumulation time when Floki was just accumulating. This was also Floki below $10 million in its market cap. Back here, a lot of people, obviously they were not in the space or left the space. People didn't care anymore, but Floki was one of those big kind of guys here, and people like it kind of made a name of itself for itself, but then the market crashed and nothing happened, right? Like it didn't really benefit from that. Even though you can see in this chart, it was already like pumped and it got listed on PolyNEX and also Bybit back in the days and all that stuff. So people will see this chart and not get interested in it. And I remember I made this tweet back in the days and I said, Floki, clear accumulation area here, and I started to buy it and I kept holding until it made me a 200x. And also the same thing I applied back in the days with Ladies at 20 million, Toshi 8 million, Floki, BONK at 100 million, even Pepe. These are actually prices where I shared them on YouTube, but then actually at that time Pepe went even lower than 400 million, went up to 200 million. And if we go to that Floki chart, now in hindsight, it seems like it was an easy play, right? It was meant to happen. Now Floki is at 3 billion, it's meant to happen, it's easy to buy now, as everyone now wants to buy it because it's hyped up and it's a top meme coin, but here nobody wanted it. And that's where I got into it, right? I was very patient, nothing really much happened. Back in the days here, people will see this chart and will think that's not it, this never gonna happen, right? And people back then weren't even here, and which was like back then was a bear market, people didn't care much, and it was hard to imagine that this gonna happen, right? But that's the bet we're taking when we're joining the crypto space. We're trying to get these like 1,000 to 1 million or 10,000 to 1 million or 10 million or stuff like that, and it makes it hard for people to see this and buy it, right? Because most people do like to buy here because it makes more sense returns now. Now it proved that it can do it, but usually that means it's not gonna give you the best returns anymore. You missed most of the rally, right? But here most people don't want to buy this. Another example I've seen recently, which is Bobo, and there are many, right? And if we look at Bobo here as well, which was launched the 12th of May 2023. Now you can see here the first pump here happened. Possibly some people were euphoric about it, right? But then it went on to doing nothing before it pulled another pump. Bobo went to 23 million back in the days, went to 23 million, and then a lot of people that just got into it because they did no research, they don't understand why they buy the coin, they just buy it because it's green and that's it, and they bought here and they probably sold at the bottom, and then it went to only $1 million, and now it's at 167, right? So even if you got here, you made 160x or 150x just from this, right? But yeah, granted, it's hard to know that this can happen, right? Unless you're into some alpha group or some Discord group or something like that where you can join mine and link in the description, it's free to join. Or unless you are part of some real deep in the trenches communities and stuff like that, you wouldn't know about this, right? Or even if it comes to you and someone tells you about it, you're probably not gonna get into it. And it's not because you're afraid or because you think it's not gonna do it, but it's because of the strategy. Because people, what they do usually is they don't dollar cost average when they find something that could be interesting. What they do is they put all their money, their 1,000 straight up, and they wait for 1 day or two, and then when it goes down they sell again, right? So imagine you bought Bobo at 3 million and then you sold right at the low again when it was going at around 1.6, around 1.1 million again, right? So if you put 1,000, it's gonna go down here. It almost went 50% down, so you lost $500. You'll think, all right, so let me sell before it goes even lower, and then it went ahead and it did a 150x. That's a perfect example, right? So what I did with Floki back in the days, because it was already like on Bybit here, and I was trading on Bybit, and obviously I wasn't like expecting it to do that much of a run, but I was bullish on it. And the way to actually fight the fear of losing money and all that stuff is what I did was I was just buying slowly into it. I was trading on Bybit and every day would put $50, $100 here and there until I built up like a 10k position on it. Just by buying here and there, slowly buying into it, it makes you feel less fearful to buy something high risk when you do it that way, because then you are more happy when it goes down. Let's say Bobo, you bought at 3 million, you only bought $50, and then the next day it went down to 1.6, you buy again $100, and then it went up maybe another 50, and then it goes down here maybe another 100, and then it goes back up maybe another 200, and then it keeps going like that just because you believe in it, but you also think maybe it's super risky, it could go down. So you slowly dollar cost average into it because it gives you time to actually see the asset and how it's gonna perform. And you also don't go all in at once, which is more scary because it goes 50% down. You're afraid now, you think it's gonna keep going down, and you sell. And that's how a lot of people actually miss on these runs. And by the way, I made 200x on Floki from that lows here, from these lows here. I made 200x on that, and even BONK, right? BONK was also at the same time, even though I got a bit late, but around $100 million in its market cap. We're like Myro and these are now. But also at the same time, you would think that it's not really possible. But as soon as I started to see that my thesis is playing out with Floki, and Floki started its run because it was on Bybit, I was like, all right, let me grab all the coins or the meme coins that I do think are bullish on Bybit, and started grabbing some ladies, started grabbing some BONK. And even when back in the days when the base chain started launched and people started talking about it, I found Toshi on it and it was at around 8 million, and I did the same thing, right? I did not go all in on Toshi thinking that's it, I found the gem. I was still being cautious, and I started dollar cost averaging into it, right? Slowly, right? Each day I put something into it, each day it goes by, and it took it a long time for Toshi to actually pump. And it's the same thing for Bobo here. If we look at Bobo here, you can see it took around 280 days from its launch, which is almost a year, right? Like 10 months or 9 months of it doing nothing. Basically, there was one run to 23 million and that's it. The hype died off. And then suddenly it spiked like that, right? That's very important to understand if we are trying to turn this cycle 1,000 to 1 million, because we're way early now. This is like we're here now. Like we're here and the bets are being placed right now. And here it's gonna be way late. It's gonna be way late. That's why a lot of times I say at some point these coins are all gonna be overpriced. because there are gonna be no more of them. That's the main reason, especially on ETH, right? There are gonna be no more. To give you another example, we can look at Turbo as well. Like Turbo was launched also last year. The dev used ChatGPT to launch a coin, and it kind of created some hype, and then went to $20 million in its market cap, and that was about it, right? Like the guy sold and made a YouTube video about it and all that stuff. And this coin also did nothing for a long time. And congrats to those believers that were into it. But you can see nothing happened for 377 days, over a year of Turbo just going sideways, not doing much, right? Especially like the ups and downs were a bit brutal, right? Like it got listed at around 100, like here Dex Screener shows it as 120 million, but it was launched like a fair launch basically. And then it went to 10 million or 9, and then it went like nothing, and then it went up back up to 70 million, and people thought that's it, it's gonna move, and then it went down again to 20, and then people thought it's gonna move, that's it, 100, and then it goes down again to 39, and then the real rally started, right? And it took over a year. So these charts are we gonna see a lot of them this cycle, a lot of them. I would rather be looking at these right now at trying to find a coin that is like that, especially on ETH or even on Base right now, because Solana is tough. Like Solana right now, that's why I always say Solana is tough right now, because you can't do this with Solana because there are so many coins launching every day. It doesn't give you that time. There are so many coins that people just sell and leave, right? Because here people don't have so much choice on ETH. Like they might buy the top and sell the bottom on Turbo and hate it for a month and then come back to it again because there is no much choice out there, right? And it took some time. And if people just dollar cost average into it, like DCA we call it, and like each week maybe you buy $50, and it was a year, mind you, this was a year, right? And let's say you average in like $200 per month at around like a 10 million or $20 million, let's say $20 million market cap, and you average in like $200 per month, and that would be over 2,000 or 2K, let's say, per year. Like the whole time it was here, it took around more than a year, let's say you put in 2.5K, and then it went ahead and made that massive run, which took it from, let's say, average price of 20 million to 600 million, which was a 30x, and it still can go even higher, right? Because it's proven that it done it many times. Like it still can go to maybe to around 200 and then put the next leg up to 1 billion, 2 billion. And if it goes to 2 billion, now the guys that averaged into it here at around $20 million market cap, they will have made 100x. It was gonna take them a long time, over a year or more, to make 100x, but now the 200k, the average investment now, if Turbo or when goes to 2 billion, it's gonna be 100x from their average buys. This would put them at 200k, and they only were allocating $200 per month into it, right? It's not much. Now, what if they overall allocated 10k into it? Now they made $1 million. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm looking at, right? This is the kind of stuff that I look for when I make a video and I say this is the thesis behind this coin, why I think, like, let's say Andy on it is gonna perform because it's related to Pepe, and why Brett on it is gonna perform because it's related to Pepe, or like some other coin on Base like Toshi is related to Brett. And that's how it goes. We just keep looking for these coins, right? Like there are so many coins that have potential right now that are low market cap coins, and we're still early for this real part to start. So there are still many gems out there that could just do what Turbo or Bobo or the other ones did, or Pepe on these coins. And the most important is to always understand the narratives are what's really important in this crypto space and the meme coin space. And the most important is on ETH and Base, we want to look for the Pepeverse related stuff, and sometimes we get some other stuff related to some other narratives like BONK Coin or MAGA, and you can see these perform more or better on ETH. So we want to always really put our energy on ETH, right? Even some people now are crying about the fees and all that stuff, but you need to understand that ETH is where it's at. It's ETH where you can slowly DCA and dollar cost average into some coins slowly when you find a winner, and it gives you that time. With Solana, you never know because there are so many coins each day. So the people that are gonna buy your Solana meme coin are distracted with 20,000 meme coins daily that they don't have time to find your coin, pump it. So that's why ETH and Base are important, and that's about it really. And finding those top meme coins on their blockchain. And now we also have that Elon meme related stuff. We do have Grok and we have Byte. Solana also, there are some true memeable stuff like SKid, and we have also the mid-cap ones like Myro and Ponke now. These also have that like 50x potential and stuff like that. These are also very important to know, but mostly it's gonna be played with the Pepeverse. Now we've seen with Andy on ETH now at $200 million in its market cap. I do think this one has the potential also to catch up. Now it's even at 300 million. We have also Bread on it. We have also the other ones like the Land Wolves and stuff like that. We have Land Wolf on it. We also have Bird Dogs on Coinbase on the base chain. We have also the same Pepeverse guys on the base chain. It doesn't matter at this point. It's just what matters most is cheap prices. As you've seen now, this super example on Turbo and slowly dollar cost average. That's the most important. Super low prices, and it must fit the narrative, the unicorn of this cycle, Pepe, the unicorn narrative of this cycle. That's the most important. Anyways, guys, hope this video was helpful, and thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.